Hey guys, Michael Choi here. Alright, wanted to give kind of a big overview about a lot of these different technologies that are available. So, for web programming, there are a lot of different technologies that are used to create a web application. You have heard about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Ajax, jQuery UI, PHP, Ruby, Python, Perl, Redis, MongoDB, MySQL, Cloud Server, all these things, right? It's kind of confusing. Okay, so let me see if I can kind of give you a high level picture. So HTML is used to create the okay. HTML is used to create the structure of your code. So things that you see on when you go to the website, all of the structure, well, I guess instead of the structure, maybe information is the better word. So all of the information is put in HTML. Because website is just basically a bunch of information, right? Now, so HTML has all the information. CSS is used to display those information in a nice way. So you can grab some of the information here and say, hey, I want to put that up on the website. I want the font size to be small. I want the background. I want to put an image on the background. I want, these beautiful color buttons and all this, anything that has to do with the look, how the information looks or is displayed, where, how on the website is done through CSS. All right, now JavaScript. What is JavaScript? If you're like using the website and anything that has interactivity, for example, you type things in the search box and automatically gives you the suggestions on the bottom, or you click and it does this nice pop-up, not a new window pop-up, but a nice small pop-up where it fades everything on the background. Things where you can like drag and drop, all those interactivity, or you click and then the calendar shows up and you can pick the date. All those interactions are JavaScript. Okay, jQuery is just an extension of JavaScript that makes it very easy for you to implement. JavaScript, if you do it, things that would have taken 40 lines of code, for example, using jQuery, you could do it in 2, for example. So jQuery is just is a JavaScript library that allows you to make interactive website, okay, or add interactivity on top of HTML and CSS. Okay, so that's JavaScript. That's what jQuery is. jQuery UI is also an extension of jQuery. They have some cool looking stuff like dialogues. You can go to jQueryui.com and look at their demos. They have like calendar, all these things that you can use. Okay, all right. So now that you know how to HTML has information, CSS you display it to make it look pretty, and then JavaScript is used to make interactive. Now you gotta store like information on the back end too. So let's say you're creating Facebook, you need to store like the user information, anything that user commented on, the photos, all that stuff needs to be stored. Those information are stored in the database. So one of the most popular databases is MySQL, but there's Oracle is a database you can use. There's also Postgres, and there are a bunch of databases out there. MongoDB, which is one popular one. They're basically just all databases to store these information. Redis is another one that's gaining popularity. Okay, so those are just databases, but you need a programming language to process some logics. For example, when you log in, you gotta get the information from the website, process it to the database. So anything that so a lot of the information is just exchanged between the website and the database, right? But you got to do something. You got to add some logic to retrieve information from the database and display it, or get the information from the website and put it to the database. And that's where different programming languages are used. And that's where you can use Ruby, Python, or PHP to tie the backend. Now, MVC framework we'll explain a little bit later, but that's basically the gist of it there. And then you host the codes in a server, either in your local computer or up in the cloud. Okay, hope that makes sense. Rewatch the video if you need some clarification.